Hello yet again for another monthly TBR. This is going to be more of a pile of possibilities than a straight up TBR because, as seems to be the case every month now, there are just so many events going on. I want to participate in all of them, and unfortunately time is limited. So this month I picked 2 readathons I really want to participate in. I do still expect to have BookTube prize reading. I kind of maybe overestimated how much I was going to have to read though, so I think I may wind up in translated fiction again, and as a result not have to read all 6 books. So if that's the case, we're going to go all out on this. But the 2 readathons that I did pick to participate in, or try to, are New Release-A-Thon, which I will link the announcement from the main host, Kristen L. SFF Reader, down below. We have a great bingo card. And the other is, of course, Garbaugust. We're reading garbage. So Garbaugust, I'm expecting, is going to be fairly easy to fly through things. So I've got a pretty big pile for that. So first up, for New Release-A-Thon, I'm not really paying attention to the bingo board myself because I'm very limited this month, or expecting to be. And so I'll try to slot things in as I go along, but I'm not really targeting trying to finish a bingo. So the first thing that I've got a hold on is going to be Mirror Mended by Alex E. Harrow. I haven't even looked up a plot synopsis for this, so this is very unprepared, but it is a sequel. So I think probably going in you will want to have read the first book, which was kind of a Sleeping Beauty retelling that's very modern and feminist. It is in a contemporary setting with kind of a portal world. So I'm expecting this to be a spin-off of that. I believe from what I've heard, this is more of a companion novel versus a direct sequel, perhaps. So I'm intrigued to see it. I really did enjoy, but didn't quite love. It wasn't super memorable, the first one in the series. So yeah, it'll, I think, be enjoyable. The next one I want to read is going to be more mixed, perhaps, because I've not heard the best things. But that is A Fevered Star by Rebecca Roanhorse, and as you may know, I read Black Sun just recently, specifically so that I could pick this up, because this just came out, and Black Sun was the first book in the series. This is the middle book in a trilogy, and people are saying it kind of has second book syndrome. It's a little bit abbreviated and doesn't really wrap up. But I think I'm still going to really enjoy it. I think I still really enjoy the characters, so I'm looking forward to getting into this. This is, as I said, it's the middle book of a trilogy, so I can't really talk about plots. However, it's big, epic fantasy in a Mesoamerican setting, and it draws from that mythology with kind of these old gods and crows and an eclipse that is all culminating together into this big magic finale, I think, that we're going to get to very soon. So that kind of culmination was about to happen in the first book. So we'll see, hopefully epic drama. And the last one is going to be a good crossover into my Garbaugust, and that is The Kaiju Preservation Society by John Scalzi. Now this is his newest book. It's a very slim little one, and he specifically said this is kind of like a pop song in a book. Basically, it's just meant to be entertaining and feel good. He wrote this during the Panini and really was not feeling anything serious that he was writing, which if you've ever read Scalzi, he's very comedic as is, even in his more serious books. So I'm really looking forward to this. It obviously features kaiju, which are kind of the big epic monsters, and someone who takes a job going through dimensions, I think, to take care of these kaiju. And so it should be really interesting. It should be really entertaining and fun, and a good kind of brain break, I think. So I'm looking forward to all of those for New Release-A-Thon. Now, my Garbaugust pile. This is very much a pile of possibilities because I have more than I can probably read. And I went a certain route on my Garbaugust in that I'm going to go more fun, as you saw with Kaiju Preservation Society and why that's kind of a good tie-in. I meant more pulpy fun than truly horrific or graphic. So my first one may be controversial, that this is probably not really garbage. This is a really well-held book, but this is Terry Brooks' Magic Kingdom for Sale. Now, Terry Brooks is probably best known for the Shannara Chronicles, and this one is all about someone who buys a rundown Magic Kingdom and has to fix it up. So So let's see what this says, because the synopsis for these are most of what's fun, I think. Fairyland COD. Landover was a genuine magic kingdom with fairy folk and wizardry, just as the advertisement had promised. But after he purchased it, Ben Holiday learned that there were a few details the ad had failed to mention. The kingdom was in ruin, the barons refused to recognize a king, and the peasants were without hope. A dragon was laying waste to the countryside, while an evil witch plotted to destroy everything. Ben's only followers were the incompetent court magician Abernathy, the talking dog who served as court scribe, and the lovely Willow, but she had a habit of putting down roots in the moonlight and turning into a tree. The paladin, legendary champion of the kings of Landover, seemed to be only a myth and an empty suit of armor. To put the final touch on the whole affair, Ben soon learned that the Iron Mark, terrible lord of the demons, had challenged all prospective kings of Landover to a duel to the death, a duel which no human could hope to win. The task of proving his right to be king seemed hopeless, but Ben Holiday was stubborn. So it seems like that's going to be a really, really fun one, I think. It's as I said, very, very well held. Here's another one that I think is very well held by people who like classic SFF and comedic stuff, and that is Stephen Bruce, Cowboy Fangs, Space Bar and Grill. I just love this cover. It is really fantastic and wraps all the way around. So this one says, so you've had a hard day. Your planet's just been nuked. Welcome to Cowboy Fangs. So it's going to be a great time. And you'll notice like bars really come up through this list. If you can find it, that is. Cowboy Fangs, Space Bar and Grill is a great place to visit, but it tends to move around a bit, from Earth to the Moon to Mars to another solar system, and always just one step ahead of whatever mysterious conspiracy is reducing whole worlds to radioactive ash. Still, Cowboy Fangs is worth tracking down. Not only does it dish up the best matzo ball soup and Irish music in the known cosmos, it may also be humanity's last hope for survival. So yeah, I think this is going to be great fun. This is one that everyone who's read it that I know of really has a soft spot for it, that nostalgia. And then I have two that I just got. So you'll also be seeing this in a forthcoming haul. And this first one is Jack L. Chalkers and the Devil Will Drag You Under. We've got a nice little demonic guy there. It says, Asmodeus Mogart was not a bad fellow as demons go. Having gotten in trouble back in the home office, he had been assigned to duty on Earth. There he toiled, doing the kinds of things demons do, and turning into something of a drunk. Then a rogue asteroid threatened to crash into Earth and destroy all life on the planet, demons included. There had to be a better way. Mac Walters and Jill McCullough, holding a private wake for their world in a Reno bar, were more than startled when a strange-looking little drunk told them they could save the world. All they had to do was enter 5 alternate universes and steal a demon-guarded jewel in each. Clearly, the man was crazy. But they had nothing better to do than go along with the gag. Then they found themselves naked and alone in a hostile alien world. So I wonder why, if they can travel to alternate universes, they don't just go there if their world is being destroyed. But yeah, obviously, it's got a very serious plot here. So this is going to be very silly and fun, I think. And then we have Tales from Gavigans Bar by L. Sprague de Camp and Fletcher Pratt. And this one has some great little curious monsters. This one's a little dragon crawling out of a tomato can. And some kind of bird with another guy riding on his back. So weird. So this says, the weirdest drinking establishment in the universe. Gavigans Bar, presided over by Mr. Aloysius P. Cohen, bartender. Where will you meet such not-so-regular customers as Councilman Maguire, who brought his own leprechaun with him from Ireland, Mrs. Vacarescu and her husband Putsy, the were-dachshund, Mr. Murdoch, who borrowed a very small dragon to rid his apartment of mice and lost it, and assorted witches, magicians, devils, dryads, and the occasional demigod. So that definitely sounds like trash. So it's going to be good, fun trash. And then we have a real, this one's going to be a big moonshot because it's chunky. This is over 500 pages in Mass Market paperback, and I have no idea what it's about. I got it a couple years ago purely because of the dinosaurs. So you can see we've got a big old dinosaur here, we got a couple of guys on the side, and a spaceship. And as well, this is by Eric Flint and Rick e-spore. So Eric Flint just recently passed away. He was a very prolific author for Baen Publishing, who are notorious for their garbage, I would say, and notorious for other things that are not so good. So I hesitate to support them very much, but I already had this book. I think I got it used purely because of, as I said, the dinosaurs. So this one says, Dinosaurs and Deep Space Missions. The find was made by a teenager. It was a funny fossil no one had seen before out in the middle of the Montana Badlands. And right in the middle of controversy, the strangely shaped fossil could help explain one of the greatest mysteries of Earth's past, the Great Die-Off at the KT boundary. It warranted a big dig, one that could lead to the mother lode and a professional immortality. But what Dr. Helen Sutter didn't realize was that it would take her all the way to Mars. So I have no idea how that ties in with our dinosaur friends, if they're going to go travel to Mars and discover it's just totally populated with dinosaurs or what. But it's going to be cheesy fun. I'm 100% sure of that. And the last one, but not least at all. So I, a few years ago, was ordering a book specifically from Dark Regions Press, who are an indie publisher of horror fiction. And as I was buying that specific book, they had available grab bags. And I'm assuming these are maybe misprints or something, because they're a selection of random books. You don't get to choose which books or see what they're going to be. The first one I read was fine, but there definitely were some misprinty things in there. But they're definitely readable. So I got some interesting selections in there, to say the least. And this one is the most interesting. This is Crustaceans by William Michael. And you can see he's got like a hand hanging out of his claws and some entrails here. It's a pretty scary crab. So this says, it begins slowly with a dead whale on a Boston shoreline. Steve Donahue better watch out. Not in itself an unusual occurrence, but the things that claw their way out of the blubber are very unusual indeed. The crabs are back, bigger and meaner than ever. Soon, they are swarming around Manhattan, hunted and harried by a SWAT team tasked with ridding the city of the menace, before the menace gets big enough to rid itself of the city. So, that is, I'm sure, going to be extreme Garbaugust fodder. I want to read this and see how insane it is, because SWAT teams going after giant crabs sounds pretty darn great. So that is my selection for both Garbaugust and New Release-A-Thon. What do you want to see me get to for sure? Because I don't think I'm going to finish all of these. It's going to be a lot, but we're going to try our best. Thanks so much for watching.